So, a few months ago, user Techno reached out to me on Discord with a clip that he'd posted to What's That Song. He wanted my thoughts on finding it, and I absolutely fell in love with this song. And hey, it wasn't on any of the Lostwave YouTube channels yet, so it seemed fitting for me to put it here, on my channel, which means I got to give it a placeholder name. And after listening to the song more than a dozen times, both user Trippy Drew and I just kept hearing the refrain as "Damn Munich," which stuck, despite Techno perhaps preferring the more traditional "crossing the last corner." And then, about a week ago, it was time for the FMM channel poll. I did a whole video about it if you haven't seen it, so you should watch it after you watch this. Anyway, I lobbied hard for this song, even bringing out pictures of my cats, especially when it wasn't clear it'd make it into the top 10 channels in round 2 of voting. I was so thankful it did though. It'd almost certainly get an upload onto Q's YouTube channel. Her channel is huge, and if you haven't subscribed to Q, a link to her channel is in the description below. I knew that Q uploads often brought much more attention to Lostwave songs, but well, what I wouldn't know is that the upload Q had just made would literally solve this song in less than 48 hours. This is the whole story, solve included, of case file 408-306, Damn Munich. The search actually got its start on Discord server Dance 4 Hours a Day, which merged with the FMM Discord. One channel, the song Modern, being given a channel, but the other two major channels on that old Discord, Shadows, aka Sonic AMV, and Damn Munich, both moving to threads in the other unidentified music channel on the FMM Discord. Early into this search, I went looking on Discogs and found an album with next to nothing about it, a German rock band called Orange, and they had a song called Trip to Munich, so I bought it. The whole album's on my YouTube channel, only to later realize it'd be kind of dumb to have a song called Trip to Munich and have the lyrics be Damn Munich, but yay, music preservation! So, after the search got a brief start on the old Dance 4 Hours a Day server, the investigation into this song really began in earnest in a thread on the FMM Discord, where Techno, who explained that he'd heard this song on Russian radio station Relax FM, and yes, like so many Lostwave tracks, the lyrics on this one were hard to decipher. Here's Trippy Drew acknowledging some of the song sounded like it was in a language from The Sims. Of course, we weren't all sold on the lyrics being Damn Munich, with user Webb suggesting an alternative that I really started to buy. That is, instead the refrain was Damn Uni, as in university, as there was an indecipherable line in the song that sounded like Darby Hall or Zarby Hall, but Webb suggested it could be Shabby Hall, which would align with many university dorms. Honestly, just look at us trying to decipher these lyrics. Here we are discussing whether Munich could be some kind of metaphor. Meanwhile, Techno heard back from Relax FM, but they would not be able to help us find this song, nor did they have any records of what they play. It seemed we were on our own. We discussed how, to many of us, this band was trying to sound like Queen, but honestly, the lyrics being so hard to understand worried Techno, who questioned whether we'd ever ID this song. So I mentioned that I'd be nominating this in the channel poll whenever it happened, and that I was confident we'd eventually solve this. In an attempt to figure out the vocals, I went to the subreddit r/translator, where the only comment suggested lyrics that had also been suggested on What's That Song, the refrain being, "Don't mute it, turn it on." Also, people learned there were in fact 2 uploads of this song on What's That Song, 2 different samples by 2 different original posters. The other one by a user named HypnoShroom, who we told ourselves we'd look into. Honestly, we all worried this would become another Waste My Time, a hard to decipher rock song that played on an Eastern European radio station, and that took years to solve. Heck, this song was even big enough for a fake YouTube lead, someone claiming it was a song called Take Me to the Edge of the Rainbow. And as lyrics interpretation time continued, marktrail, who is great at this sort of thing, suggested an alternative to "Through December, Women Bite Your Tongue," instead suggesting "Thrown Asunder," which I was 100% convinced was right. Then it was channel poll time. Dan Munich was easily through round 1, but in round 2 only 10 songs would become channels, and honestly, Dan Munich kept dipping in and out of that number 10 spot. And well, maybe it was my cat pictures, but at the end of voting, Dan Munich had made it. It had its own channel. And it wasn't long after that my dream came true. That's right, I finally got a part-time job at the Sizzler. There was finally a queue upload. As the Dan Munich channel started, I posted my new best guess lyrics, as well as mentioning that the way that the vocalist pronounced corner, that the vocalist and band in question could be from Northern United Kingdom. And I wasn't the only one, as seen here. Server staff Sveta suggested the vocalist could be German. Heck, we even started a thread within the channel for lyrics interpretation. Techno produced a list of theories about this song after some confusion on whether server staff thought this whole song was an AI hoax, which I had privately mentioned to server staff, and I'll reiterate here. I hate what hoaxes have done to the Lostwave community, and I want no part in any of them. But long story short, the AI hoax theory was actually just some confusion about the 2 samples I mentioned earlier. So anyway, here is Techno suggesting this was maybe a demo or early version of the song, that the text might be intentionally obtuse, that the song might be in 2 languages, or that the vocalist could not have English be their native language, suggesting that the vocalist could be from South America. We talked a little bit more about the whole situation with Relax FM, and I went to sleep because the next morning I was preparing to interview Jon Snow. No, not him. Them. They're responsible for Brighter Days, also known as Back to Bed. And then on Saturday morning, I woke up to this. 9+ Discord notifications. I also had about a half dozen emails in my inbox from What's That Song. I took a glance and I was in disbelief, but I didn't have time to process it because, well, I wanted to be on my A game for that Jon Snow interview. But when I did process it later that afternoon, well, boy, I was just beside myself. As I mentioned earlier, most YouTube comments about Lostwave are hoaxes. I knew a queue upload would help, but I don't think anyone would have expected that the person leaving a comment on a YouTube channel so casually would solve the song. But there it was. Broken Bed by Plymouth, although now they go by Los Aros de Saturno. And if you thought the YouTube comment was crazy, buckle your seatbelts. Anyway, people brought up that there had been another fast channel solve with the song Dark Faces. Heck, during this channel poll, the song Joey Ramone on the Stereo had been solved during voting as Frick Music by the band Chicks. And during the last channel poll, the song Downfall had also been solved as the downfall of a well-known actress by Fair Verona. So, Dan Munich wasn't alone in being a fast solve, but the nature of this solve would certainly be one of the craziest stories in Lostwave. All started seeing the value in YouTube being able to spread these Lostwave songs, and heck, the stories behind them too, which makes this the literal best video, because I don't have to shoehorn in an attempt to explain why it's important for you to like and subscribe to this video. Because who knows what song a YouTube video like this could solve next. So that crazy story I mentioned? Well, that YouTube comment knew the band behind Broken Bed because I still shake my head in disbelief at this. It was their parents' band. We learned that this band, I'm going to call them Los Aros de Saturno since that's what they go by now, had recorded the song in China and were from Venezuela. It's funny how we were all so wrong, except at the very end there when Techno predicted this band could be from South America and have English not be their first language. And User Sweet also predicted this song would get solved extremely quickly if it got a channel, so props to him too. And here's the aforementioned YouTube commenter's mom popping up in the YouTube comments about this song. And then she showed up in the Discord server. She explained the title of the song, Broken Bed, was from the bed they were sitting on while they were writing the song. It broke, and this became the name of the song. She discussed that it hadn't made its way to digital because the song was originally recorded in China. And she was extremely thankful to her son, who just happened to be interested in Lostwave. Oh, and he joined the server too, and was given a solver role that's given to people who solve songs, because, well, he did solve it after all. The son, username ChocolateCream, explained his mom had a lot of Russian friends, which is likely how this wound up on a Russian radio station. We also learned that the band, who sadly didn't last long, were not inspired by Queen, but instead by Pink Floyd. Here's a funny and heartwarming screenshot. And, well, because I knew exactly what I was walking into, here's what I posted when I actually showed up in the channel on Saturday afternoon. Oh, and in case you were wondering, yes, we did get official lyrics. It wasn't Damn Munich, or Damn Uni, or Don't Mute It. It was That Minute. Until next time, I'm Person of Distraction, and I'm now listening to